Hey everyone, today we are going to be making Shoto Todoroki. Shoto Todoroki. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. I hope I didn't butcher his name. I haven't actually watched My Hero Academy, but this should be a fun one to learn. So I hope you guys enjoy this one and let us get straight into it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, guys. Okay, so for the materials, we are going to need, can you see here, I've got 4-ply cotton yarn in the colors red, flesh pink, a royal blue, and then we have a maroon, a little bit of a different shade of red. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to use something different for the scar, but if you just want to use red or the maroon, that's more than fine. And then a little bit of beige, and of course we also need white, or you can also use cream white for the hair. So those are the colors that you will need. And we are also using a 1.9mm hook, as you can see here, but feel free to use anywhere between a 1.75 and a 3mm hook for 4-ply cotton yarn. And of course, if you have your own yarn and hook that corresponds to that yarn, feel free to use those because this pattern is universal. You will also need a sewing or a leather needle. I recommend a leather needle. This one's not a leather needle right here. I can't find my leather needle, but I recommend it because it just weaves in and out of those stitches really easily. You will also need some 6 or 7mm black safety eyes. So this, I think I am going to use 6mm right here just to finish these off, but feel free to use anywhere between 6 and 7. Oh my goodness, I just realized what I said there. No, okay, no. You will also need a pair of cutters. Now these are scissors right here. Cutters are a little bit smaller. I can't find mine, so I'm just going to use scissors in the meantime. Some pins are actually really handy to use, especially when pinning the hair down, so I recommend using some pins, but of course this is optional. And then last but not least, you will also need some fiber filling. Okay, so let us get straight into it, guys. So we are going to start off by using royal blue colored yarn, and we will just make a magic ring. And if you don't know how to make a magic ring, I recommend checking out my beginner crochet tutorial playlist so that you can learn a bunch of these techniques that you use for crochet and then come back to any one of my tutorials and be able to complete them. Alright, so we've just made a magic ring right there. Next, we are going to work 6 single crochet stitches inside this magic ring. And just to let you know, my single crochet stitch type is where the yarn comes underneath the hook first, followed by the yarn coming over the hook second, just like that. So we go yarn under and then yarn over, or YU, yarn under, and then YO, yarn over. So that's the type of single crochet stitch that I recommend. Have a look at the other types over here. I've linked a video. But I wouldn't recommend really using yarn over just because, well, in my opinion, it doesn't look as good for amigurumi, but others may disagree. So completely up to you there. But this one keeps these stitches quite tight and it's a little bit easier to keep them straight as well. And I'm going to teach you a little bit of a technique on how to keep these stitches straight, maybe in round 3 or round 4. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make one more single crochet stitch right here. And then grab that magic ring tail and give it a pull until you close that magic ring. And there we go. So from here you can either decide whether or not you want to crochet in a spiral, and if you crochet in a spiral you're just continuing on one by one round, and you'll add a stitch marker so you can keep track of your stitches, or if you'd like to, you can finish with a slip stitch and a chain 1, and that also helps your stitches to become aligned, though you will get this little bit of a seam at the back, but it's completely up to you what you want to do. I would recommend, especially if you're an intermediate crocheter, to crochet in a spiral. You may have to adjust where the arms go if your tension's a little bit different and your stitches aren't straight, but that's really it. Okay, since this is a beginner tutorial, I'm going to do the slip stitch and chain 1 just to help you guys along. Okay, so for round 2 now, we are going to work 2 single crochet stitches inside this 1 stitch space. So I'm going to show you that again. Have a look at this. Here's 1 single crochet stitch. It keeps going blurry because I keep trying to move closer to the camera. And here's the second, just like that. And that there is your increase. You can see we've got 2 stitches in the 1 stitch space, and you're going to repeat that all the way around 6 times. You will have 12 stitches after round number 2. And now we are up to round number 3, and round number 3 is the following. You'll start off with a single crochet stitch, followed by an increase 1, same stitch space, and number 2. Let's just repeat that one more time. Single crochet stitch first, followed by an increase 1, same stitch space, and number 2. Repeat that 6 times in total for 18 stitches at the end of round 3. Alright, so we are now up to round number 4. Now round number 4 incorporates a different type of stitch plus a color change, so we'll do this one at a time. And I apologize for my voice, I am sick kind of at the moment. Okay, so we are going to start off by working 5 single crochet stitches. We have 3 so far. This here is number 4, and then this one here is number 5, but don't complete it. When you've got 2 loops on the hook, I want you now to change your yarn color to white. So this is how you change yarn colors, okay? Change it to white at this point to complete that 5th stitch. Now what we're going to do from here is we're going to work something called a spike bubble stitch, and this is how we do it. First of all, we wrap the yarn for the bubble, and then for the spike, you don't come here. Instead, you come 1 round below right here. Okay, and then insert your hook, have these 2 yarn tails over the top of the hook, and pull up the yarn, and make sure you're pulling it up to meet the level of these 2 stitches or loops on the hook. Then pull the yarn through 2 loops on your hook, and you're left with 2 loops on the hook. Now I want you to repeat again. Wrap the yarn, come in this stitch space, 2 yarn tails over the top of the hook, pull up and pull through 2, just 2 loops. And one more time, wrap the yarn, come in, pull up and pull through 2, just like that. And now from here, what I want you to do is grab that blue colored yarn and then pull through all 4 loops on the hook, and that's your first spike bubble stitch that you just completed there. And from here we are going to work another 5 single crochet stitches, but have these 2 white yarn tails over the top of the hook, at least for the first single crochet stitch, so you can lock it in. So here's number 1, then here is number 2, number 3, number 4, and here is number 5. Don't complete it yet with the blue colored yarn. Change to your white colored yarn, just like this, and pull the white yarn color through to complete that 5th stitch. So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11th stitch altogether. From here, we are working another spike bubble stitch, so wrap that yarn for the bubble. Don't come here in the next stitch space, come 1 round below it. Enter the hook, have the blue yarn tail on top of the hook, so you can weave it in there and pull through 2 loops. And repeat another 2 times. Pull up, pull through 2, wrap the yarn, come in, pull up, pull through 2, 4 loops on the hook, signaling we need to change to our blue colored yarn, pulling through all 4 loops on the hook, just like that. Second spike bubble stitch now created for that 2nd leg. Fantastic work. We'll have 6 single crochet stitches left in blue. Have the white yarn tail on top of the hook as you complete at least that first single crochet stitch. And you can see I've kind of stuffed this up, but we'll get there. Okay, so I'll do it again. I just am getting, you can see, look, I've accidentally put my hook inside the 4-ply cotton yarn, which I don't want. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's number 6, just like that. Now if you're crocheting in a spiral, continue on, otherwise slip stitch and chain 1, just like me. And let's have a look at what these feet look like. Now ideally you shouldn't have a nipped end over here, so I'm just going to kind of push that back in so we don't get that extra little bit of area or space where it looks like we're kind of pulling it apart. But this is what you're looking like so far with the feet. Okay, now for the next 4 rounds, this is rounds 5 to 8, we are just working 18 single crochet stitches. But wait, I've got to teach you how to make these stitches as straight and aligned as possible, right? So let me show you here right now. So you want to pull up a loop as if you were to make this single crochet stitch, because we are, and you've got 2 loops on the hook, but this next part is the most important. When you pull the yarn through these 2 loops on the hook, keep your hook as vertical or to your opposite side as possible. And that just helps push your stitches that way if you're a right-handed crocheter, and you'll do the opposite if you're a left-handed crocheter, and that will help keep those stitches straight. So again, you're pulling vertical or even tipping it over to the opposite side if you can. And that's how you keep the stitches straight, guys. You'll notice a big difference there after a couple of rounds about how aligned these stitches are. So I want you to continue on making these straight stitches. It's just a little bit of a hand adjustment. You'll learn the technique the more that you do it. That's the only thing, because you'll create that muscle memory and it won't be so difficult. But that's what you need to do if you would like those straight and aligned stitches, because sometimes you do see pieces where the stitches all slant this way towards the right if you're a right-handed crocheter, towards the left if you're a left-handed crocheter. But if you want them straight, you've got to tip that hook to the opposite direction as much as you can. So that is a helpful tip. I hope you guys enjoy that one. And so now we've just completed round number 5. I need you to complete the next 3 rounds, 4 in total, of 18 stitches. And here we are up to round number 9, just completed round number 8, as you can see here. Now for round number 9, we are doing the following. So I'll just chain 1 first. We'll start off with 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, keeping those stitches straight. And here's the 4th, and I'm going to change my yarn color at this point to flesh pink. Now you may be wondering, what happened to my white colored yarn? I just cut it. It was already woven in, so I just cut it because I don't need it right anymore for the rest of the body. Okay, and then from here we've changed our yarn color to flesh pink. We are going to wrap the yarn, not come here, but come 1 round below. Enter the hook, have the 2 yarn tails over the top of the hook to weave them in place, pull up and pull through 2. You guys know the drill for this spike bubble stitch. Repeat another 2 times, pull up, pull through 2, wrap the yarn, come in, pull up, pull through 2, 4 loops on the hook, change your yarn color to royal blue, pull that all the way through as best as you can, just like that. And then we will continue on having the 2 yarn tails over the top of the hook as you crochet at least the first single crochet stitch. Pull up and make that first single crochet stitch, just like that. So that's 1. Here's number 2. I'm not going to weave this in anymore. Number 3. Number 4. 5. Keep these stitches straight. Remember, 6. And here's number 7, where we change the yarn color again to flesh pink. Now, if you need to drag this across, feel free to do so, just like that. And if you have a lot of yarn slack there, you'll need to weave it in with this spike bubble stitch coming up right here. Don't come here in this next stitch space. You've wrapped the yarn, you'll come 1 round below. I'm going to weave in those 2 yarn tails because I had an extra lot of that flesh pink as I brought it over. Pull up, pull through 2, repeat twice, come in, pull up, pull through 2, 1 more time, wrap the yarn, come in, pull up, pull through 2, just like that. 4 loops on the hook right there. Change to your royal blue colored yarn, pull through all those loops, and you should have 5 single crochet stitches left. Just weave in the 1 flesh pink yarn color for 1 single crochet stitch, 1 or 2, something like that. Here's number 2, number 3, and even you can bring it across here because eventually we're going to need this in the next couple of rounds. So I'll just bring it towards the center, this here towards the center. All right, and continue on to round number 10. So there are the arms, 1 and 2, looking fantastic. All right, let's start round number 10. Round number 10 is as follows. You'll start off with a single crochet stitch first, followed by something called an invisible decrease. And this is where the yarn hook comes through the front loop of the first stitch, then the front loop of the next stitch space. So we've got 2 front loops on our hook right there. Pull up the yarn and pull through 2. Let's repeat. Single crochet stitch first, followed by invisible decrease, front loop again, yarn through, yarn through. Repeat all the way that same pattern, single plus invisible decrease, all the way 6 times in total for 12 stitches at the end of round number 10. I'm still on round number 10 here, but I'm up to my last decrease right now. So I'm going to go through the front loop, yarn comes through, and I'll change my yarn color to flesh pink at this point, pull the flesh pink yarn color through, and then either continue on in your spiral or slip stitch and chain 1. And incorporate that blue colored yarn as you do that as well to lock it in place. Now for round number 11, we are only working in the back loops of round number 10. So we also want to weave in your blue colored yarn for the first couple of stitches. So start off with a single crochet stitch in flesh pink, followed by a back loop only, increase 1 and 2. And remember, keep these stitches straight. So once more, single crochet stitch first, and try not to nick any of this, followed by one more increase. This is the last time I'm going to wrap the blue colored yarn as well. So there's the increase. I'm going to leave that and set that aside. I could cut it at any point. I'll cut it a little bit later. So single crochet stitch first, and let me just double check that. I want to make sure that I'm only in the stitch space. So come in here, back loop only, single crochet stitch first, followed by increase. And again, you're just repeating that pattern, total of 6 times for 18 stitches after the end of round number 11. So you can cut that blue colored yarn right here. That was a terrible cut. These scissors are so blunt. Whoops. Okay, and now we are up to round number 12. So round number 12 is the following. Start off with 2 single crochet stitches, this time 1 and 2, followed by an increase. 1, same stitch space, and the second. Keep those stitches straight. Repeat that pattern, 24 stitches at the end of round number 12. And there we go. So that's the end of round number 12. Now for round number 13, actually rounds numbers 13, 14, 15, and 16, that's 4 rounds, you will make 24 single crochet stitches. So that's 24. 4 rounds now officially complete. So we're finished round number 16. We're ready for round number 17 now. So for round number 17, it's just going to be 2 single crochet stitches, followed by an invisible decrease, front loop, yarn through, and repeat 2 single crochet stitches, 1 and 2, followed by an invisible decrease. Just like that. Repeat all the way around. You'll have 18 stitches at the end of round number 17. Round number 17 now complete. Now, if you want to add the eyes, feel free to add them at this point. Just fast forward a little bit. Otherwise, continue like me for round number 18. Single crochet stitch first, followed by invisible decrease, and just repeat that all the way around for round number 18. You'll have 12 stitches after the end of this round. After round number 12, just pull the yarn a little bit more so that you can add your eyes and your fiber filling. Don't cut the yarn though. So here are my eyes right here, and I have them between rounds 14, which is right here, and 15 right here. So again, this is round 14 and 15, eyes between those 2 rounds, and kind of in between the arms and more aligned with the feet. Of course, these are 6mm, so if you have 7mm, you'll have less space between them, but just try and make it roughly proportional. That's all you need to do. And then don't forget to seal the back portion of those eyes as well, as much as you can. And then we are up to adding some fiber filling. So grab your fiber filling and just add small layers at a time. So small layers at a time just means little bits, and use a pair of cutters to poke and prod and condense/compress that fiber filling all in place. So again, grabbing those little layers at a time, and then just using your pair of cutters or a pair of scissors to poke and prod until it's all the way full up into the very tippy top. Okay, so once you're up to the top here, I've got my third finger kind of pressed in there so I can keep it all down pat. And now what we're going to do is, remember, this is your tension piece, okay? So you want to keep that as tight as possible. Since everything is stretched, it's a lot harder to keep it tight, especially in this last round. So just remember, keep this as tight as possible. And then all we're going to do is work invisible decreases all the way around. So there will be 6 in total if you worked with a slip stitch and a chain 1. Otherwise, if you worked in a spiral, you will only have 5 invisible decreases total. So this is my third one right here, and I'm keeping it nice and tight. Here's my fourth. Tight, everything tight. For spiral people, here's your last one, just like that. And then you'll work a slip stitch right here, slip stitch. But for the rest of us, we just work an invisible decrease. Keep it nice and tight. And then come in the very first stitch space of the round and slip stitch. Pull the yarn through and cut yourselves about a 15cm piece of yarn. Give the eyes a little bit of rearranging if necessary. You probably can't add any more fiber filling, but if you feel like you need to, and you can, feel free to do that. And now let us just close the top portion of the head right now. Okay, so from here you have your needle. You've woven the yarn through the needle. And then you want to have your front loop, or the needle, to go through the front loops only of all those remaining stitches. Don't pull super tight at this point. So here's number 2. Number 3, you'll have 7 if you crochet in a spiral, 6 if you just crochet with a slip stitch and chain 1. That's number 4, I think. Can't remember anymore. In any case, you're just going all the way around till you finished all the way around. Okay, once you're done, what you will do is you will pull the yarn, pull, and keep it nice and closed. So keep it tight. Any bumps that you see, it's probably because you forgot to weave in the front loop, and you'll just push them in. Just like that. Okay, then the needle comes through the very center of the head, comes out anywhere in the head where there's flesh pink colored yarn, pull through and give it another pull to close that ring even more. Isn't that cool? And then from here, what you want to do is, can you see this dominant diagonal piece of yarn on each of these stitches? Well, we're just going to follow the lining of that. So we're going diagonal, okay? So diagonal stitches just like this to weave it in. Boom. And now you can't even see that I wove this in. This is how seamless it is. So always look for the dominant diagonal and follow the direction of that. It will be the opposite if you're a left-handed crocheter, by the way. Not that I know, but just logic. And then just keep going until you've done this maybe like 5-6 times in total, and then you should be good to just cut the remaining excess yarn, or you can weave it inside or continue following that same technique. The more that you do, obviously the more secure that top of the head is, and this is not going to unravel anymore. We're also going to cover this by hair as well, so should be fine, but we just want to ensure that it doesn't unravel. And then from here, guys, that's the end of the body. So now we have the collar. This is what we're going to do for the collar. We need to turn our plush upside down just like this, okay? And now from here, you want to find the 2 most center front loops of, I guess this is round number 10, right? Because this here was round number 11, so these are the front loops of round number 10. So I found the 2 most center, right, 1 and 2. I'm going to enter into this one right here, the far most left, just because I'm working this way. If you're left-handed, you'll start here and work that way. Okay. So we're going to grab our piece of royal blue colored yarn and we will pull this through to attach it and chain 1. Then give your tail a little bit of a pull in case that chain 1 is super loose. And now from here, you're going to work the following. Start off with a increase, but it's a double crochet increase. Ooh, or half double crochet. I don't know which one. Wait, let me just check what it looks like. 1, 2. Okay, double crochet. So double crochet increase, here's what we do. You wrap the yarn, you come into, because this is an increase, you're working 2 in the same front loop. You come into the front loop, you pull the yarn through. You've got 3 loops on the hook at this point. You pull through 2, then you pull through 2. That is a double crochet stitch, and because we have 2 in the same stitch space or front loop, this is a double crochet increase. Now from here, we work 2 double crochet stitches. So come to the next front loop, which is right here. Have the yarn tail over the top of the hook, at least for the next couple of stitches, and work another double crochet stitch and repeat. So come into the next front loop. No increases at this point, just the very next front loop. And work a double crochet stitch. Easy done, right? Easy. Okay, so now you're going to repeat that pattern. So next front loop, you're working a double crochet increase right here. So there's double, followed by same front loop, double crochet stitch. So now you've got the double crochet stitch increase, followed by 2 more double crochet stitches. 1 next front loop, and here is the second one. There we go. So we've worked all of that so far. Next one is, see, this is the slip stitch. If you didn't have a slip stitch, you just work in the next one, easy. Otherwise, you just cross all of that and work a double crochet increase into the next front loop. You can see the pattern, we're getting used to it, but there's something that's different towards the end. Okay, and then 2 single, 2 double crochet stitches. Right, so here we go. then another increase. Wait, how many do we have left? It's double. No, okay, so no increase just yet. This is where we do something different. So this is on the last time that you're doing it. So this is the 6th time. So instead of the double crochet increase coming first, you'll just make the 2 single, and I don't mean single as in single crochet stitch, I just mean the 1 double crochet stitch. Hope this is not too confusing. You can see the written pattern at the bottom as well. It shouldn't be too confusing. I'm just making it more confusing than it sounds. Another double crochet stitch. So this is the 2nd one. And then you finish in your last front loop with the double crochet increase that we missed. See what I'm saying? And that's because I just wanted the increases to be towards the end. Now, once you're finished that, you're going to pull the yarn through. Pull the yarn through your loop. You don't need to cut this much. I don't know why I cut that much. Cut about 10 or 15 centimeters worth. And there we go. There's the collar. And we're going to sew this part at the top and this part at the top so it doesn't come down because we want this high up, okay? So well done, guys. We just finished the collar. This is the collar, how it looks all the way around. If you wanted an extra double crochet here just so you can get rid of that, feel free to do so. But otherwise, that is the pattern. So there's the collar. Fantastic work. From here, I just want you to grab some, well, it's red colored yarn at the same time. I'm just making mine a little bit darker red. It's not completely maroon. As you can see, it's a little bit brighter than that. Maybe it's like a wine red. Not quite sure. But then you are going to weave this through the needle, and I actually forgot to incorporate this in the pattern, so maybe what I'll do is I'll write that you need to change some of these stitches here to red. Otherwise, if you don't do that, just do what I'm doing here, which is embroidering it in. And here we go, we're just going to embroider some of the scar. So I'm going to come kind of at the top here first of all. This is let's see if I have a look from the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 9, 10, and 11 stitches right here. So I'm going to pull this through, and we're just going to embroider kind of in straight horizontal lines until we're happy with the look of the scar. I'm going to keep here. And just continue embroidering. I can even come a little bit further back over here if I'd like, or you'd like. It's completely up to you how you want to embroider this scar. You just want it to look a little bit more, I guess, red, right? Because his eye is red. And I'm going to come further down, but because I can't fully reach into that right now because the plastic is in the way and my needle's angled in the wrong direction, I'm going to come out here first. And then I'm going to head back in right there. You can see that, right? Now I can do one that kind of comes over the top of everything, just like that, and I think I will. And then I'm going to come, if I can, to the bottom section. We're looking good. And then I want to come back there, actually. So I'm going to come up here first, get my bearings a little better. Give this a little bit of a poke and prod so it doesn't come undone. Bit more of a tight pull. And then I'm going to come back over here and then start back here in this section. You can see there's no like method to this, right? I hope you realize that. We're just trying to fill in the gaps. That's it. Like that's literally it. We're just making this scar look decent enough. And then I'm going to come over here. Boom. You can even come underneath here and then wrap around that if you'd like as well. I'm going to come, I think I should come down here, huh? So maybe I'll do that. Come in here. I'm going to come out here just to get some bearings, see where I need to go. Pull, pull, pull. Nicely done. I think so that this yarn doesn't go across the eye like this, I'm gonna come, sorry, that's my stomach. I'm gonna come right at the, if I can. Kind of there. Need to get through all of that yarn to then wrap over it. Could even come back here, you know. We are almost done, guys. You guys are doing so well. But basically, you see my technique, right? Okay, but this is all we're doing. Like, we're just filling in the scar. That's it. And just making it look like we've got a scar, which is just an eye filled with more red. So this time I'm not so much working horizontal anymore. I'm kind of working a little bit more diagonally now to fill in the rest of the gaps. And here's one more, and this one will be, I think, my last one. And then I'm happy with that scar, and I'm going to join this yarn tail with the other one, which is right here. Pull that through nice and slowly, give it a little bit of redirection with your hands if needed. And there's the scar. Look, that's perfect, right? We've got a beautiful scar right here. That's exactly what we want. And I'm just using that different red colored yarn. But if you wanted red, feel free to use red as well. No right or wrong way here. I just wanted a different color because the scar looked a little bit more subtle compared to the hair. Okay, I'm coming in here and I'm going to pull that knot inside. And you saw what I did, right? I tied this in a double knot, cut on top of it, and then pushed it inside. And there we go. There is my scar. Done. And now we are up to the hair. So the hair is not too difficult, but we do have yarn color changes. That's the only thing. We're swapping all the time between red and white. So get your red and your white yarn colors at the ready. And then we are ready to begin. Okay, so it's important that you start with your red colored yarn because opposite if you're left-handed, right? Actually, I don't know what it would be. If you're left-handed, I think you'd start with white because the left side of the hair has to be on the left side, right? As in when you're looking down, it's on the left side. I had this one completely wrong. So you start with red. I actually didn't know there was a particular side. I was just going for it. And ended up getting it wrong. Okay, so we start off with a magic ring. Start out with a magic ring, guys. Just like that. And then you will work 3 single crochet stitches inside this. 1, 2, and here's the third where we change our yarn color to white to complete this 3rd single crochet stitch. So here's the white color, pull through to complete. And now we are going to work another 3. 1, 2, 3 single crochet stitches. Now, do I change it to red at this point? Let me see. How do we do this one? We did the slip stitch in red. Okay, so I guess we need to change our yarn color to red. Pull the red through. Give your your red yarn tail a pull, keep these down at the bottom here. Pull, pull, pull. There we go. And then we're going to come across, since we are finishing each round with a slip stitch and chain 1, and just have all those yarn tails on top of the hook. Keep your tension nice and tight here as you make the slip stitch. Slip stitch done, chain 1, and we are ready to now continue on. So we are going to do the following. Start off with an increase. Start off with an increase. So I want to do this properly. Take this out. Put this back in. That's my chain 1. Come into the first loop. This is the 2nd round, guys. So increase first. Followed by another increase. 1, 2. Followed by another increase. 1 and 2. Change your yarn color to white right here. Boom. And then we've got 3 increases in white to go. 1, I'm not going to worry so much about weaving in the red yarn just because you don't want it to be visible. And here we are, so there's the white right there. We grab our red, we make a slip, we finish that increase, and then we make a slip stitch. And now, third round, single crochet stitch first, increase. 1 and 2. Not looking that bad. Repeat single, increase, single, increase, 1 and 2, change to white, single, increase, single, increase again. One more, single and increase. 1, here's the second, change to red, slip stitch, and there we go. So that is the base of the hair now. We are now up to doing the hair strands. So the first 2 hair strands are just going to be chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, you'll make a slip stitch in the second loop from the hook, so give that a slip stitch, followed by 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and here's number 3. Then come into the second stitch space of round number 3, make a slip stitch, and repeat the process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by slip stitch in the second loop from the hook, and then 3 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, and here's the third. Slip stitch in the next stitch space of round number 3. We're up to the next hair strand, which is going to be chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get yourselves a bit more red colored yarn if you're feeling tight. Then slip stitch first, followed by 4 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch in the next stitch space, chain 7 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slip stitch in second loop from hook, followed by 5 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in the next stitch space, chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 this time, and slip stitch in the second loop from hook, followed by 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's number 6. Slip stitch in the next stitch space, and we are going to make 1, 2, 3, 4 hair strands of this time chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Slip stitch in the very second loop from the hook, followed by 7 single crochet stitches. Number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6, and last one, number 7. Repeat that 3 more times for 3 more hair strands of chain 9 in red. Hey guys, this is the final chain 9 hair strand right here, and I'm in the last loop making that single crochet stitch, and this is where I want you to change your yarn color to white, and it's coming from all the way back here, so you're going to have to bring it across and then weave it through those 2 loops on the hook to complete that, and then come into your very first stitch space in white of round number 3, make a slip stitch just like that. Now, from there, what do we have? 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4 in 9. So we also have four hair strands of chain 9. So I'm going to get you to do that. 4 hair strands of chain 9 first of all. Alright, so we've just finished those 4 hair strands, chain 9, slip stitch, 7 single crochet stitches. This one here is a chain 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a slip stitch in the second loop from the hook, followed by 6 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's number 6. Followed by slip stitch in the next stitch space, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slip stitch in the second loop from the hook. Always when you do those slip stitches, turn your hook a little bit so you can get more of an angle. That helps to make those slip stitches. And then remember, you're repeating the rest with single crochet stitches. So it's only 1 slip stitch followed by the rest single crochet stitches. So you just want to remember that. Coming here and then slip stitch in the next stitch space. We've got 3 more to go. So this next one is going to be, I'm sure you guessed it, chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slip stitch first. See how I'm twisting my hook to get that slip stitch? And then 4 single crochet stitches, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just noticing that my white colored yarn is a little bit thinner compared to my red that seems like thick and sturdy. So that's why I'm trying to make these stitches a little bit looser so I get the same length. So if you notice things like that in your yarn, you're just going to have to make slight subtle adjustments. It's kind of annoying, but you know, even though it's the same company, same yarn, sometimes you get ones that are just a lot thinner for some reason. The next 2 hair strands, the final 2 hair strands, are chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a slip stitch and 3 single crochet stitches. Now I think I'll just continue until the end with you here, because if I cut now, like we've got 1 strand away. So coming here, slip stitch and chain another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch in second loop from the hook. 3 single crochet stitches to finish this hair strand. 1, 2, and here's number 3. And then from here, we'll just work in the very first stitch space of round number 1. I just want to see if this is a good area to do it, because it might not be. Let's see what I did here. Kind of looks like I did. You could even change it to red on that last one, you know, which actually I might do just so it evens it up a little bit better. So look at this. This is your last single crochet stitch in white. And so look, we're going to bring the red all the way forward and pull that through the 2 loops on the hook, so that when you come into the very first stitch space of the round, you can weave in the yarn, so the white one comes on top of the hook and the red one makes that slip stitch. And that looks way better. Just keeps it nice and even. Now we're going to pull the red all the way through and leave yourselves about a good 40 centimeter yarn tail in red. So that's the red one. And you'll also leave yourselves with the same 40 centimeter yarn tail in white. And you know what I just realized as well? It doesn't really matter which one you start with, because you can just turn it around. I'm so stupid. No, actually you can't turn it around. My bad. Because we have the hair, shorter hair strands at the front. So no, you can't turn it around, so I'm not stupid. Okay. And that's the hair, guys. That's the end result of the hair. If you guys enjoyed that one. Fantastic work. So now we're going to pin the hair to the head over here all the way around. So I'm going to get pinning first and then I'll show you what we did. Alright, so we have now currently pinned the hair. So we had those 2 chain 5 hair strands right at the center there, and they kind of come in together right at the center between the eyes. I'll put them right between those eyes between rounds 14 and 15 as well. And then we're just pinning the rest of the hair strands all the way around, and I've kind of had to pull this backwards just a little bit so I could fit these hair strands toward the base. Later we can push this up if we can, and then this will always be up, and we still need to weave in this end to keep it up at the same time. So now we can start. So here are the hair yarn tails as well that I've kind of kept out of the way, so they're up the top right now. So as you can see, you can probably foresee as well that with the red yarn tail, you're going to be sewing all of the red hair strands, and with the white yarn tail, you're going to be sewing all of the white hair strands. So I'm going to start off with red. You can start off with either, but here's the technique that we're going to be using. So I'm going to come somewhere close here just so that this is hidden away nicely, and then I can come to any one of these hair strands and pull a pin out, push the needle through and emerge where that pin was, and then I'm going to come up one of the sides of the hair strand, just one of the sides, take the pin out, and then come around towards the other side and back in the same stitch space, and then I'll come into where the pin was in the next space and have the yarn needle come there, and then just pull just like that. Okay, so there's one hair strand all done. So with this one, I'm kind of coming around here. Some of them you'll come further towards the base, some a little bit further up. It's completely up to you how you want these hair strands to be. I want the fronts kind of flicking up a little bit. That's why I'm coming a little bit higher to leave this out. But for these ones, I come towards the end. I hope that helps you a little bit to understand. So I've come out the side, and then I'll come out the side and straight into the same hair strand, pull up the next pin, have the needle come where that pin was, and then give it a bit of a pull. And there we go. So that's the second one. So you're going to repeat that all the way around to the red, and then I'll come back and finish this one as well, and this one here too. And then that will be the end of the red. So continue on with the red now. Red has now been sewn all the way around. I could probably fix up this one just because it's kind of tilting a little bit towards the other side, so I might just do that now. So I'll come perhaps a little bit further this way, and then I'll grab a side of the red and then just go straight back in. Now if you wanted to as well, which I do actually recommend, come towards the edging between the third round and the hair strands. That looks way better. And then you're just going to sew a little bit across that edging just to keep it in place. Even just twice is more than enough. And then come out anywhere with that red yarn tail and just let it go. Don't cut it just yet because we are going to use this white one. You'll see in just a moment. Alright, so we're up to the white. Let's get the white all sorted. It's coming through. And now from here, you can see it's kind of, if I put it this way, it would be on top. And that's okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to come underneath though. Proceeds to do something different. Okay, so I'm going to come down here this time. Start where this hair strand was in white. That's my last hair strand. Pull that through, and then as you can see here, I'm going to take this out, and since I'm further towards this way, I'm going to come on the inside of the hair strand and then towards the outer side and back in that same stitch space, and then I'm going to pull out the next pin, have my needle emerge kind of at least somewhere very close to where that pin was, and then one side you'll come through and then come the other side and straight back into the same space, and then pull up the next pin, and so on and so forth, guys. You are just going to complete this until you've got all the white also in place. Okay, continue on, and then once you're here, you're going to secure around this section here, the edging, and then you will emerge this white yarn tail where this red one is. And then we'll tie these in a double knot and then cut and hide in place. So I'll let you continue on with that. Now you can also take out this middle pin because that's all secure, and just continue now until you've finished. And there we go, we've just emerged, tied in a double knot, and here I'm going to use my big fat pair of scissors, even though I want to use my pair of cutters, just can't find them. I found them at one point and then I lost them again. It is something that I lose a lot, including my hook. It's like hook, scissors, everything as a crocheter I tend to lose. And I hear that that's very common. Maybe because everything's so small. I don't know. And then we're just pulling this inside to hide it away. And that is the hair all finished. Can you see that? Oh, this is perfect. This is looking wonderful. Now with this yarn tail up here, first of all, this woven in yarn tail, we could have cut this a long time ago, but that's okay. We'll just cut it now. Keep it as close to the edge as possible when you cut it. And then with this one, since we have a longer yarn tail to finish off, we're going to weave it through. Then I'm going to come up here and then also up here, come through a little bit of this blue. Can you see how I've come a tiny bit through the blue and then back up here? And I'll try and do the same over here just because it hadn't been done. That was where I had the yarn tail anyway. And then come through here. And since there's a lot of blue in the body, I'm just going to weave this like I did to finish the head. So with the head, remember how I found that dominant diagonal and then we just wove in place? So I'll do the same here as well. And by the way, you don't need to do that if you don't want to. If it already sticks up, feel free to just leave it. I just wanted to keep mine firm and in place. And then I'm going to cut the yarn once I have woven that in a few times to secure. And there we go, giving it a little bit of a twist so it's all facing the one direction. And that's what we're looking like so far. Grab some maroon colored yarn. This time it's a darker maroon. And then from here, you're just going to, again, weave this through a needle, preferably leather needle. And we are going to make kind of a lining around each hand. Okay, so that's what we're kind of aiming for at this point. So we're coming all the way around here. I'll come straight back down. I'll have this go wrap around the yarn and then back through that same stitch space. I'll emerge in one of these corners and then come across it. Just like that. Now I want to repeat for the next arm as well. So watch this. Falls into place. Beautiful. So that's done there. Now I'm going to do the exact same for this one. So I'm going to come all the way around. Come into this section here. At the tippity top. Come through the base here. I could have put this a little bit further here, but at this point I don't want to. Sorry. And then I'll just come straight back to the corner. Sometimes you get so tired. I'm just on my knees doing this recording as well, so my knees are about to break off. I can feel the tension. And then I'll just come over here and emerge right where this yarn tail is. And I'm trying not to get it caught on any of the other strands, so it's just an easy emerge. Done. So we've got the wrapping around the arms, which looks actually really good. And then come in here, tie a double knot, same as we've always seen. Double knot. Give it a bit of a cut with your non-blunt pair of cutters. Or you can just be like me and have a blunt pair of scissors. Either or, there's no like, who cares? If you don't have the best of the best, it doesn't matter. We've still got this. And then from here, what we want to do is, we could put like a little bit of a white thing here, because doesn't he have like a white little thing over here? Let's just do that now. Oh, and doesn't he have like a few white stripes? Why don't we just do that? So here's my white. By the way, this is completely optional. You don't have to do this at all. So I've got my white cotton yarn at this point, and I'm going to grab one strand of this and pull it apart from the rest. And this just gives me a thinner piece of thread or cotton that I will now work with. Makes it way easier. And now we are ready to come. I'm kind of coming in the center here because first of all we've got to work like this little line between here and here. Keep it as straight as possible, and I'll just weave in and out of these two spaces a few times until I feel like that line is exactly what we want. Pull this out. So this will be the third time, and I'll probably leave it like that over here, and then I'm going to pop out here somewhere a little close by. So that's really cool in the middle. I didn't have that before. And then we'll just make a line again, horizontal line, and then come a little bit further down and make another, hopefully, relatively decent horizontal line again. And then I'll just do the exact same, but on the other side. Definitely not horizontal. Don't know what happened. Doesn't matter. Try and keep it horizontal if you can. I probably would have tried to push it up a little bit more. Second attempt right here. A little bit better, not perfect, but I'm going to leave it as is. And now here we'll just do the exact same, like I said, those horizontal lines to finish this all off as best as you can. I think this one's going to look a little bit better. Coming here, and I'm just going to emerge anywhere else. It doesn't really matter at this exact moment. Boom, that looks way better than this one. I don't know what happened to this one. Oh dear. That's okay. We'll leave as is. Oh, maybe I can fix it. I might attempt to fix this. Can I fix it, guys? This is the main question, and you're gonna watch me. I do apologize. I'm gonna come underneath and give it a bit of a pull up into that same stitch space, and then it's going to come, your needle's going to come where this yarn tail is, and you want your best to have that needle weave in that stitch space. Oh, it doesn't look, looks way better now. I was able to fix it somewhat. Okay, so from here, tie in a double knot. You guys know this. You guys are very familiar with this now. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys are enjoying these tutorials, by the way. I think this is like the 50th one out of my 100 mini series, which actually ended up being 120 because I just did little things on the way, and it might be a little bit more by the time I get all of these recorded as well. But guys, please get this channel to 100k subscribers. You have no idea how much that will mean. We've got to get this channel known to a lot more people, and also I'm just trying to make it into a good earning business as me, so I can continue doing this even after the 100. We can just keep going. Alright, so this is what we're looking like so far. We have one more thing to go, and that's the chaining of the beige. So grab your beige colored yarn. And beige colored yarn is right here. Leave yourselves about a 10 centimeter yarn tail and make a slip knot. And then chain, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to check how decent 20 is. Now, this is going to be a bit variable. So I want to do maybe 24. I'll chain 24. 21, 22. Oh, how much did I already have? Yeah, 23 and 24. Let's see if it goes all the way around this time. Yes, that's decent. So from here, if you need more, feel free to do more. Just do a little bit of a measuring thing. So I'm going to pull this through and also cut till I have about 10-15 centimeters of a yarn tail. Oh gosh, these scissors are so blunt. And then from here, we're just going to wrap this around. And we'll have this portion kind of on the side because I don't want it to be visible. Even if you have it at the back, it will be super noticeable that we've sewn it in there. So I don't want that. That's why we're going to sew up here. Try and get to where you believe the waist should be. And then if you've got a little bit of excess, you can actually go a little bit across. I'm going to just pin this over here for now. We're not going to keep it there. Don't worry. Grab this yarn tail. Done that. And then I'm going to come right in here where it was pinned. And I'm going to go up through a little bit of a loop or one of these chains. Loop, chain, same thing. And then I'm going to come across to the other one and have it woven in place. Then I'm going to come here. I'm not going to come here yet because I haven't really aligned that properly. But where it should be aligned is where I'm going to have it. Come across to the next one. Pull out somewhere over here. And now we're ready for this one. Take out this yarn tail. This one I'm just going to go a little bit across. Like one loop across, if you can. Just makes it look like a better finish. That's the only thing. Pull that through. We're going to come in here. And then I'm going to come back here. Take this pin out now. Pull, 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 pull. Keep it aligned all the way. And look at that. Beautiful. And then I'll just come back here and then emerge in the same stitch space with those two tails. Oops. Tie in a double knot, as you know, to secure. Cut above that double knot. And the final thing, oh my gosh guys, this is it. This is it, the final pull in. Oh, I wish that looked really good to finish it off, but we win some, we lose some. Okay, so from here, that's it. We have just made our Shoto Todoroki. This is brilliant, guys. This is amazing. We've even got the scar this time. I didn't incorporate it last time. I didn't even have this or this white thing. So we've got a few extra things here to make it even more resembling Shoto. Okay, if you wanted to add a keychain, of course, feel free to do so. I've linked a video here if you want to add a yarn chain. I did this with Hulk. You can do this also the same thing. Otherwise, just grab yourselves a keychain and put it in there and add it. And you've got yourselves a beautiful keychain. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get this channel to 100k subscribers. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.